Tonight, shocking new information in the death of 16-year-old Preston Lord. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mark Curtis.
And I'm Kadiba Devine. The 12 News I-team has obtained Queen Creek Police's report and 911 calls from the night that Preston was attacked. 12 News journalist Bianca Bono is joining us live in studio. And Bianca, what do the records tell us about the murder investigation?
Well, guys, there was just so much to go through. But right now, we're seeing how officers put their case together from the night of the attack. They went through body camera footage, surveillance video, texts, Snapchat posts, and more to learn what happened that night and who was responsible. The call started coming at 9 p.m.
So there's a big party going on in my neighborhood with a bunch of teenage kids up and down the street, and they're getting high, and different things are going on.
And they kept coming.
There has got to be at least 250 kids here. They're walking the streets. We're not used to this. I'm not used to this in my neighborhood from being here 25 years.
It's the night of October 28th, a Halloween party in Queen Creek with 100 to 200 kids.
There's too many cars. These kids are going to hit each other. Someone's going to get hurt. Someone's going to get killed.
By 9:50,
He's been unconscious for like 2 minutes. We need people over here.
16-year-old Preston Lord had been attacked by a group outside the party and would die from his injuries 2 days later. In early March, nearly 5 months later, 7 suspects were charged with first-degree murder. But a Queen Creek police report newly obtained by the 12 News I-team detailing the investigation that led police to their arrests. After hundreds of interviews starting the night of the attack and after going from high school to talk to students, police zeroed in on their suspects, saying this is what happened at the party. First, in the backyard, someone started videotaping a verbal argument when suspect Preston Billy demanded he delete the video. The person recording and his friends, including Preston, left the party, and police say Billy and his group followed them out. Police say suspect Dominic Turner then snatched a chain off of someone's neck, and suspect Jacob Meisner strikes someone in the face, calling that the first punch thrown, prompting the groups to run. Then, some attacked Preston. Police executing search warrants for some of the suspects' cell phones and DNA within 2 weeks after the party. And the messages they uncovered were damning. Suspect Taylor Sherman's messages from October 28th show he receives a message asking who hit him. And he responds, D-Money, Jake, Talon, and me, later saying Talon killed someone with his hands. And on October 31st, sends a message saying Tresty or Talon might be getting charged with murder. And guys, this is just a small portion of what's in these records. We've made it through hundreds of pages, but there's still so much more to process. So we'll be continuing to do that tonight and of course into tomorrow, but so much to unpack here.
It seems like, based on the reporting and based on the report, that they were able to zero in on these suspects pretty quickly.
Almost immediately. And so many factors, right? I mean, I think one of the biggest pieces that I found to be surprising was how much information these suspects actually put into their own Snapchat messages, text messages. Quite frankly, that night after the attack, according to these records, they were talking exactly play by play about what happened, naming their friends, naming other suspects. They later talked about deleting these messages and making sure there was no evidence available on their phones. But once it's out there, and police very quickly got search warrants for their phones, for their Facebook profiles, their social media profiles, and were able to obtain all of that information.
Wow. Well, another interesting thing you found in the report is Queen Creek Police, they weren't initially recommending first-degree murder charges, right?
That's right. As of mid-December, we actually found that Queen Creek Police were ready to recommend charges to the county attorney's office, but they were looking at second-degree murder and aggravated assault, and they actually didn't have all 7 suspects named by mid-December, but obviously they gathered so much evidence, hundreds of interviews. And I should note, one thing that was really striking about this was just seeing the brave teenagers, these are young kids, that found the courage to come forward and do the right thing and talk to police, share videos, private Snapchat messages when they were frankly really scared of retaliation.
Wow.
And I don't blame them.
Yeah. All right. Well, you're still hard at work. There's 1,100 pages right, of
Yes.
this report that you guys are still digging through. All right, Bianca, thank you so much. In Gilbert tonight, dozens of people gathered to show their support for Preston Lord's family and continue their push for justice. The group gathered at Gilbert City Hall and walked around the area. After the walk, Preston Lord's stepmother read a statement written by Preston's mother.
We were each other's biggest cheerleaders, and you had the best listening ear about my life goals. That is what I miss the most. You had a gift to help, guide, and listen to people. And as I have heard from many of your friends' parents, you did this for them as well.
Others in attendance spoke about the strength of the Lord family and the tremendous ability of the community to come together and push for justice. We have continuing coverage of the Preston Lord murder case, both on air and online. As always, stay with 12news.com and the 12 News app for the very latest.
All right, we got to talk about the weather because big changes are coming. A major winter storm set to hit this weekend, especially Easter Sunday. Meteorologist Lindsay Riley is timing it all out for us.
That's right. So as we get into Saturday night, this is a look at the future radar around 9 p.m. Saturday. That rain starts to move into western and northern Arizona. Here's 5 a.m. Sunday morning. You can see the line of showers and thunderstorms over Phoenix. Heavy snow along Interstate 40 up through the Grand Canyon. Then by 9 a.m. Sunday, that snow starts to spread eastward along the rim, and it is still raining here in the valley. That heavier batch of rain will move east by 3 p.m., but spotty thunderstorms as we head into Sunday afternoon, and we will see that repeat again on Monday. Spotty thunderstorms, colder temperatures, and more accumulating snow for the high country. So our weekend forecast here in the valley, Saturday will be dry during the daylight hours, but gusts between 40 and 50 miles per hour, blowing dust will be a possibility. Temperatures still mild, but with the wind, it will feel cooler than that. And then on Sunday, heavy rain, thunderstorms during the morning, a little bit more spotty in the afternoon with a high right around 66. Caribe.
All right, Lindsay, thank you. Tonight, the south runway at Sky Harbor Airport is back open after a plane ran off of the runway this afternoon. The FAA says that the corporate jet was taking off with 5 people on board when somehow it ended up off the runway. None of the people on board were injured. We're told that the FAA expects to release a preliminary report on the incident tomorrow.
The southbound lanes of I-17 are back open tonight after a deadly crash closed the highway today. Arizona DPS tells us a car hit the center barrier at 2 o'clock and rolled near the Loop 303. Officials say one person died and another is in the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Traffic was backed up for miles as troopers investigated. The southbound lanes are reopened now, and they reopened about 5 o'clock. Tonight, Governor Katie Hobbs is calling on Arizona President Robert Robbins to come clean about the questionable purchase of a controversial online university. A new report from the Arizona Republic shows that Robbins hired a lobbyist to try and get the state of California to lower fines against the school before Arizona bought it. 12 News journalist Jonathan McCall is here tonight with the governor's comments. Jonathan.
A very frustrated governor indeed, Mark. Good evening. This is the latest fallout from the University of Arizona's 2020 deal to buy then Ashford University. The deal completed just last year. The college said it was supposed to make them money, but instead has come with plenty of problems and controversies. A new report from that Arizona Republic shows that Arizona President Robert Robbins hired a lobbyist to try and convince California Attorney General Rob Bonta to erase millions of dollars in fines against Ashford University, now known as the University of Arizona Global Campus. In 2020, Bonta, who you see right there, sued Ashford University for questionable practices and promises that left students with crushing debt. In 2022, before that deal was completed, a California judge slapped a $22 million fine against Ashford University for deceptive practices. Last month, a California appeals court upheld the majority of that fine, only reducing it by $1 million. In a statement at that time, California Attorney General Rob Bonta's office said that multiple individuals tried to appeal the size of the judgment. Today, a very frustrated Governor Katie Hobbs speaking.
Either the fact that U of A entered into this very large purchase without understanding the liability that they were taking on, or the fact that they did know the liability and they're trying to cover up how much they knew. We just don't know. There's just been too much misinformation around this whole situation. I would love for President Robbins to just share what he knew at the time that he knew it.
So this is the latest controversy surrounding that deal. Earlier this month, 12 News first told you when the U.S. Department of Education asked Arizona to repay some $72 million in forgiven loans from Ashford University. This also comes as the University of Arizona faces a $177 million budget shortfall. Also, we learned that President Robbins also taking a 10% pay cut because of issues of overspending at the university as well. Tonight, 12 News reaching out to the University of Arizona for comment about this latest article. So far, we have yet to hear back. Jonathan McCall, 12 News.
All right, Jonathan, thank you. After an unforgettable World Series run last year, the Arizona Diamondbacks kicked off the new season in a big way tonight out at Chase Field. The D-backs pouring on the runs against the Colorado Rockies. The Snakes ended up winning 16-1. 12 News photojournalist Alexis Cisneros caught up with some D-backs fans who are excited to get this season started. Take a look.
I want to make it back to the World Series. That's what I want to have happen.
I want to win the World Series.
Let's go.
A lot of people didn't think we were going to go that far, and then just being able to get that far, like, it was just a super cool experience, like win or lose either way.
It's Carbon Carroll. I'm your biggest fan, and I like your, I think he pitches, and his batting, I like it.
This building was packed. It took me like 45 minutes to get from the freeway to the stadium, so.
I've been to opening day the last couple of years, and definitely, like, after their season last year, it's much more exciting this year. So I think they're doing a really good job, and if they just keep it up, we'll have an amazing opening day from now on.
Yeah, I designed this hat back in '98 when they first started. Each year I update my back of my hat for every year for the newer year of how many games I went to that last year. Just keep the family and friends coming here because this is a spectacular place to be. For friends and family, even fans from other cities, it's a great place to be for anything.
Well, always exciting to start another season, especially with a win. Team 12's Cameron Cox will have much more on opening day, including the highlights from tonight's big win coming up in